Akeda.
Mbijan raganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la.
Ha, code Njie.
Okay. Cosa? Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. Akeda.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara Allah service o tariya. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Birin koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe ko.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma nin domorol di fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
baraka. Ni ma lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Baraka.
Him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia, Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
Brunch on Kerfatu Live. I am Lamin Cham and this is our weekly look at current affairs, events that happen in this country over the last 7 days. This week we will take a look at the proposal for a national dialogue planned for Monday to start at State House. Now a preparatory committee, multi-stakeholder committee has been assigned to facilitate the national dialogue in the Gambia. This followed, of course, after President Barrow accepted his recommendations for him to meet all political leaders starting from this Monday. The meeting will be hosted at State House and will give all political party leaders the opportunity to make statements on the theme of political environment for sustainable peace and stability. The President, we were told, has taken a decision that a national preparatory committee be set up and tasked with leading a national dialogue. And that national dialogue should consist of individuals and institutions across the board. The committee was inaugurated on January the 30th, and the members were briefed on their task and roles. Since that day, the committee has been very active. And I'm pleased to inform you that I am joined in the studio by members of that committee. My far right is Amie Bojang Sissoho, is the Director of Press and Public Relations at State House and a key member of that committee. And next to me here is John Charleston, who is from the Civic Society. He is chairman currently of YMCA and also a member of the committee. And joining us from the diaspora, Sarjo Gassama is a Gambian who follows Gambian affairs in the United Kingdom and a proponent and really a big fan of such dialogues. So, gentlemen and Auntie Amie, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you, Lamin. Thank you for having us.
Good. Before we do anything, we will of course go to you, Auntie Amie, and explain to us where and how the concept for a national dialogue came about and how serious you think this one definitely is going to be, because obviously we have heard that there was always a need. Even this one, when the news broke, people are putting the politicians under pressure to take the opportunity and meet, as leaders of people of influence in the Gambia to see that the people can live in a society that is free from toxic politics or toxic divergence of views, so that at least a way can be found for convergence on some of the issues that really continue to divide us. But then it didn't happen. How tangible and serious do you think this one will? But first, start with the concept. How did it come about?
Thank you very much, Lamin, and thank you to the audience who are joining us, the viewers, and thank you, colleagues, for being on the panel. The concept of a national dialogue has always been part of the rhetorics, whether official or otherwise. As you said, people have been talking about it. And if you also carefully watch the statements of His Excellency the President Adama Barrow, you will always hear words like coming together, we are all Gambians, yes. Let us work together, join my government to work. But people tend to dismiss those things. You cannot be saying something you don't really believe. And last year, you may have observed, we had something we call the public forum.
Yes.
It was, I would say, the initiative because the president agreed to it. That we said we wanted to pass of independence, and we always the march past, sports, and we all disperse. But there are things that are burning issues that we really should be discussing as a nation. And when the proposal was put to the president to have a public forum, he said, go ahead. We are all Gambians, and this is important that we talk. So we did the public forum last year. It was so welcomed. And then, interestingly, from the participants of that public forum, recommendations were coming out, all re-emphasizing one point. This, in fact, should be an annual event, an annual day, that no matter what, the nation should sit together and discuss. Have a dialogue on issues. And if you see what happened in that public forum, I'm giving you a background, you will realize that the theme that was chosen all centers around what we all love: peace, stability, democracy. Okay. And the theme, when the panelists were identified, nobody directed them as to how to handle it. This is the theme. Tell us what you think about it. Give us a reflection. That's all we need. And you could see the passion and the diverse approach. That theme is affecting the life of almost every sector of our society. The panelists were brilliant. They came out the participants, the contributions,
Yeah.
you can see the need for discussion.
Indeed.
After that, some people even wrote privately, please maintain this, maintain this. But to be honest, for 2024,
Yeah.
even before some of us start thinking about what is going to be the theme,
Yeah.
the president had a meeting at his Security Council level and also directed the chief of staff that this year he wants a national dialogue. And that national dialogue is to show and express his desire that every Gambian has a responsibility towards ensuring that we have peace and security, stability, and that means we have to do something. That is, we must preserve ourselves as a nation. We must safeguard the institutions we believe are state institutions. And our resources, we have responsibilities. And this is how the issue came up. So there was an original concept, theme.
Okay.
What they did was they just identified the sub-teams.
Okay.
That these are all areas we need to discuss.
Okay.
Looking at it, and then the first thing he did is, I wanted to have constitute a national preparatory committee to work on it and ensure that it happens.
Okay.
This is how it came.
Yeah, and now that committee composed of, we had the civic society.
Oh, yeah.
Government. Tell us the composition.
We are about almost 30.
30 people.
Civil society, you're talking about the gender dimension, the religious dimension, you're talking about the institutional framework, and like we have so many. I think I will allow him to come into that because you will be surprised. The diversity is all surrounded by people who are in institutions that are relevant to bring this country together, who need to be together to bring the issues out for a country. And that is very important. So once we were assigned that, we had to work on the logistics of making sure that the committee at least meets, to have an inaugural meeting, to formally have a dialogue on why are we meeting. And this kickstart fine-tuning the sub-teams, and then fine-tuning the main theme, and then we come to a conclusion that yes, this is how we want to put it.
And that committee was inaugurated
yes, this was 30th January. We had our first meeting.
I understand there are 6 thematic areas that this national dialogue would face, but we will come to nitty-gritty of that. John Charles Njie, yes. Take it from there. The composition is very diverse.
Yeah.
People from different backgrounds who would normally not have agreed politically or all these things. So from the beginning, the very composition of the people organizing it shows that it's going to be inclusive.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lamin, for having us and
thank you.
Allowing us space to dilate on this very, very important program that is ahead of us.
Yeah.
But let me quickly say, I think Auntie Amie is being very modest in some of our pronouncements. I have been, I've been in civil society for long.
Oh, yes.
A lot of calls have been made, discussions. One of the things that has touched me about this is the good intention of government. And I'm not saying that because Auntie Amie is here. That's why I said she's being modest.
Yes.
The good intention in such that the concept note was developed from OP, and it's an inclusive preparatory committee. As a matter of fact, the non-state actors are more than the state actors. The representatives from Office of the President and the government are, I think, about 5, less than 10.
I see.
And then the majority is from civil society, the youth, the women, civic education, press union. Your president is there.
Right.
So for me, it shows the good intention of being able to have an inclusive and an independent body to plan what moves forward. Even though the concept note was put up forward, but we had a very frank discussion on all the themes, from the theme to the different
thematic areas to be discussed, to how we will plan to invitees, was very inclusively done. And I must say, you know, yes, we as civil society, we do a lot of criticism of government. Over time, I have realized that, yes, government is not perfect. And definitely we need to be watchdogs and do our work and call government to order. But the more you engage, the more you appreciate the constraints and the challenges in government. And that is why, for me, I would always call for engagement. I would always call for dialogue. I would always call, because when we sit as peers, when we sit as Gambians, we always are able to put the titles aside and look at the national interest. And that is why I'm happy about this. And I said she's being modest because she has been at the forefront. And I mean, whether it's, I mean, I wonder what's happening to her family. You know, so we have to appreciate the family and thank you for releasing her to do this national duty. She has been phenomenal in dialoguing, calling, engaging, and we see that, you know, she's working beyond her working hours. So I am appealing that she be given a break after this and be given a treat. You know, but for me, and you talked about the seriousness of this.
Yes, I mean,
one of the things that in the first meeting I had as a takeaway is when I had the chief of staff say, look, we don't just want this to be a dialogue. What happens after
dialogue?
And we as civil society said, look, we are also going to take it upon ourselves to monitor the progress that is made in the outcomes of the meeting. We would come up with resolutions. How are those resolutions being going to be workable resolutions, have action points, and be able to 6 months down the line come and sit together and say, okay, we wanted some policy on governance. We wanted a law to be passed on electoral reforms. How far have we come? So these are the things that, for me, gives me hope that this dialogue would be different. And then it's not just one dialogue. Last year, as she said, there was a public forum. And that's why I always believe in starting something. But this year, there are 3 or 4 separate activities. And the first one, for me, I think would be what would set the pace. And that's why we are asking every political party leader to please attend.
We will come to the nitty-gritties of who will attend, who has been invited, and what are the discussions going to be.
But this year, I think it's important. There are 4 separate activities that will make up the national dialogue.
And why February? Because it's our month.
Well, I think it's not a coincidence.
No, it's not a coincidence. What happened was that last year we said if we are to do a dialogue on Independence Day, it will be too overwhelming. People will come in the morning, and most of those people, you want them to be at the dialogue. So it means coming from the march past, going home, coming to a dialogue will be too much. Why not we do it 2 days before?
In the course of the
people will be able to attend, have a break on the following day, and then prepare for the 18th. This was the idea behind it, and this is why we chose the 16th.
Good. We'll come to the nitty-gritties. Sarjo Gassama, you definitely are very much in love of this idea. What do you think? What's your perception about this national dialogue?
Well, thank you very much for having me, and then I will seize on this opportunity to say thank you, Auntie Amie, and then Charles, and yourself.
Thank you. Welcome.
Gambia is always our home, and we have no place better than this country, no matter where we are or what type of passport we hold. And we have a stake in this country, and we have a serious concern. When Barrow came to power around 2017, there was a program on GRTS, Operation Faith the Nation, which we feel that was the benchmark of setting up something for the country. Citizens can have a voice, express their concern to the government. We cannot all come and say, Auntie Amie, the Mabuga is president, or I want to say it, but no. But such kind of thing, the president and his team will sit down and listen. What the citizens are worried about, what are their concerns, and how he can address them. So he will be a listener on his team. So now, if you see where they're calling on a dialogue, then which means that
there is a division already. What causes the division is something that we need to address. We, the people in the diaspora, are worried about that because the kind of politics happening in the Gambia, the rhetoric that are, sometimes they are too powerful, which we feel that is a threat to our national security.
Absolutely.
And then every political player, they have a role in it. Whether they play it positively or negatively, they have a role in it. So therefore, this dialogue is something that is very welcoming, and we want it to happen. But what happened after the dialogue is something. Because if you call on the dialogue, the objective is to unite the country. So that, we can live in peace and harmony. We do our own things. If you win, you win. If they lose, you accept it. But if you happen to defeat your objective, you unite people. People come to State House. They had this dialogue. But in the end, you go down to your political rallying field, and started these inflammatory remarks. Then you have defeated the objective. Then the dialogue is useless. Because it's not the political leaders that are in this country, it's those who are following them. Because if we are not united, those people, they are there on their own individual stuff. So the unification should trample on us and then say, hold on, political leaders say this, you go to your campaign, your political language is cordial, it's nice, we appreciate it, even though we don't agree with you, but there is something that will agitate anybody or make anybody angry. So these things, they have a lot of work to do. Politicians will come to State House, and then they say, okay, fine, this is our concern and stuff, but we, the people on the ground, needs to know how that affects us. So diaspora, I think you call us the 6th region or the 7th. The 8th. Now you put it far.
It is not the 8th.
Yes, so we are the 8th region of the Gambia. And then we are very, very important to this country. Those in the diaspora, we work there and Cham. How we try to help.
Are you indirectly suggesting that the committee should invite representatives?
Of course, I was going to come to that. Because when you say dialogue, we want to know, it's not only those within the Gambia or the political, because the diaspora, we are huge, a very large number, you understand, and we want to make sure the Gambia progress, and any initiative that are taken in this country, diasporans should be part and parcel of it.
Well, you better take note.
Yeah, can I just say something about that?
Yes.
If you go to the original list,
yes,
we had diasporan community.
Okay.
But when we were setting up who is going to be here right now? How do you identify that this is the person or the group of people who represent the whole of the diaspora? Because diaspora is so wide, it's worldwide. So I think that needs to be worked on so that there is a sort of a structure so that when it comes to national issues, that's the structure that will represent our voices. And they will break down to the others so that the others can also get the message. So that was the dilemma. That's why it was removed from the committee, because at that point in time, who are you going to call?
Yeah, who are you identifying?
That was a bit of a challenge.
I think, but let me be quick to say, when we were talking about the panelists, one of the panelists was identified, was someone that had diaspora connection. So it was not that the diaspora was left out, like she said, but because we are also very much conscious of getting the diaspora as part of the discussion. And that's why one of the panelists, I think she's not available.
Yes, she's traveled.
Yeah,
she said
but we really said because of her diaspora connection, she would have been one of the panelists for the 16th.
I just want to add that I saw on the social media that my sister Jobate is around, who I think is a voice at the social media level. I don't know where she is. We are not connected yet. I just saw the post and I was like excited about it. Let them know that those diasporans who are here and we are not aware of it, please contact us so that we can connect you to how to get to the
okay, let's go to the...
That's why the task of this committee or the government is to say that we are extending the invitation to the diaspora. Now the invitation, anywhere, anybody who chooses to be part of it, or you want to nominate your own people, bring them in. I know diaspora is huge.
Yeah, but do they have a structure?
No, we need to have a structure. Like if today, if we say, okay, Mr. Gassama, you are going to represent the diaspora voice.
They would say,
somebody will question
who's Gassama? Where is he?
Who is Gassama? Why
is it people from UK?
You know, so are UK people or even UK? Who in UK? You know, we don't want to get into that.
I see.
This is a national program, and we want to really see it from a national perspective. And if you recall last year, we even made an attempt to get the diaspora voice, even by video, to be able to communicate.
I see.
I think you remember we tried Pasamba.
Yeah.
And all that is because the government, since the beginning, President Barrow was talking about the diaspora. He has always been talking about the diaspora.
Yes.
You know, but we need to also get a structure.
Yeah.
Because I know about this Gambia house. That's why I was excited about Njie, knowing that she is in town. That's why I'm raising this issue.
So
but there must be, I think the diaspora need to talk and create a structure for a global.
It's difficult to get a united diaspora from. They are either fragmented on political lines
No, but you can be fragmented on political. Me, I don't believe in that idea that everybody.
There should be a united.
No, there must be something. Why are we all here? Because we're all Gambians.
Exactly. For
We're
example,
all
there
Gambians.
used to be a society in UK called Gambia United Society. If you have such,
I don't know.
Well, that one is dormant now. And
so
if you go to
have such organizations,
so there must be some structure that will be able to organize people. And then when you get there, after you can go to your parties. That's not the issue.
But again, I think maybe the preparatory committee would be difficult to identify.
No, we cannot
but one of the things is diaspora is fully taken into consideration when it comes to the bigger forum. So there would be invitations sent out. So I don't know whether you will still be in town by Friday.
Yes,
So you know we can have the different people in the diaspora. And I'm sure we would also do online for those online to be able to follow.
You know, I think the foreign minister is the one responsible for diaspora.
They have a diaspora.
I think we'll look upon him to see, okay, how best he reaches us. And you have the embassy as well.
No, but wait a minute. If you have the ministry and we invite the, let's say, Dex officer for diaspora affairs, it's still an official person.
From government.
No, I understand that.
No, it's coordination.
Yes, the engagement. You know, if you see the Gambian mission in London, and then most of the events that we organize in different parts of, let's say, with Midlands, London, you can see the ambassador, the deputy ambassador. Yes, they come there, they meet us, and then we grace the occasion. So through that one, you can say, look, we want to identify somebody within this area who will also, you will nominate to be a voice. We liaise with the embassy and we transmit that to Banjul.
That's a possibility.
Yes, if that happens, then we will work in coordination with the embassy, because if you come to, let's say, Birmingham area, there are huge Gambian community there. Okay, when they come to the event, you can say, okay, we nominated this person to be the voice of the diaspora, and to the embassy to Banjul. If the needs be there is a meeting call or instead of a dialogue, we can say, if you have the opportunity, go to Banjul, represent us, tell the president and his team that this is our concern and our message is this.
I think that's a good idea. I think it's important we talk about this aspect of the diaspora because, he raised a very important point. I think it needs to be done at all the countries we have embassies. Let them work together and then identify those people so that those people will now be the networkers.
Exactly.
Those networkers. So if there's an issue, if you send it to diaspora Dex at the MOFA, MOFA will be able to say, okay, these are the networkers for all the diaspora voices. Let's bring them together, give them the information, and then we'll be interacting through that. There must be a structure, and I guess when we sit, there are a lot of things could be thought.
Let's go to the nitty-gritty. So you said there are 4 events in the course of February alone. Starting the big day is on Monday, is it? That's the meeting at State House where the president is going to chair. Who have been invited to this meeting?
All registered party leaders.
Included party, not
party leaders.
Political party
wait
leaders.
A minute.
There are
wait a minute. Can you?
Okay, go ahead.
You asked.
Well, I really self-styled political leaders.
Yes, we have invited, the key and the target are all registered party leaders, number one. But it's not going to stop there, and it has not stopped there. Then we invite stakeholders. Where you say stakeholders, you're thinking of there are individual influencers in the in the country, opinion leaders, influencers. Sometimes they just influencers by nature of what they do. Those type of people we try to invite. We have also thought about some of our development partners as observers. Most of these people are going to be observers because we want it to be the party leaders to be talking to themselves and bring out their reflections on the issues so that those issues will be captured and added to the voices of the others who we are going to meet and eventually at the National Dialogue Day. And then those people, we're expecting that everybody will be there because it's programmed for 9 to 2 o'clock.
9 to 2 o'clock?
Yes. 9 to 2 o'clock, Monday.
Are you providing lunch and breakfast?
No. You have to be there. You don't want these Kabunga people to start thinking, okay, let's come. No.
Well, if you tell people 9 o'clock.
So that's what I'm doing.
Well, you eat your breakfast by the time we get to lunch.
You got to work at 8 o'clock.
Is it state house? It's everybody's compound. So
that's very key. That's very key. That people are on time, and I also want to commend our president for that timeliness. He's very key on timing, and people I think are beginning to realize that when he has programs, they have programs with them. Most people are now responding to that because he comes on time. So timeliness is important because remember that it's the State House also. So you have to go through the security checks to be able to finally get the protocols to get you seated. So all those things have been arranged.
So how have been the reception or reactions from the political parties? Do they need to write to confirm their attendance, or they just need to turn up? How would you?
As far as we are aware, and the protocol have been working with them directly. There are protocols of how you reach out to them, and that has been done. All of them have gotten their letters, and I think right now, in fact, we have individuals who are maybe political influencers who want to be there. Up to now, people are asking.
I know that.
People are still asking. But I just want to make it clear, please, 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 if you cannot be there on Monday, please be there on Friday. Friday is open. We are expecting 500 people. So
this State House again?
No.
Well,
at the OIC side of
and that one will be again. The political leaders will still be there.
Yes, they are all going to be invited because not only the political leaders have been invited on Monday, but 2 of their party members should accompany them.
On Monday.
Those 2, we are expecting to be a female and a youth. So that they'll be there. The party leader will be seated. They'll be there to support, and then the rest will follow.
So these topics you talk about, 6 thematic areas. Most of the issues that people are concerned with in the Gambia, and we hope the political parties may raise, is okay, we need political inclusion, we need decency in our politics. Okay, we would need to, let's say, defray tensions, stuff like that. So are they going to be free to come up with areas that they concern them? Some people say livelihood, cost of living is too high, we have to get the Minister of Finance to do this, or we want the Minister of Education to do this, that kind of things.
Okay. The theme is clearly stated in the letter. That's why we're giving the opportunity to the leaders to reflect on the theme.
I see.
If you are reflecting on the theme for 3 to 5 minutes.
But what about if I want to bring something that's not
like what?
Allocated in that's not identified in the theme?
No, because the theme says collective responsibility for preserving the nation, safeguarding the state, securing our resources.
Okay.
What are our resources?
What about peaceful and harmonious.
No. How do you preserve a nation?
Okay. So
How
you
do
mean
you
the topic encompasses so many.
Thank you. It's all taking us back to the main theme of a society, peace and stability. That is why the sub-themes, if you look at it, it looks at the political, maybe I will allow him to come on that, because you have the political environment. Can you give him the...
because people... this is...
I want you to understand, he said something, there are 4 days. We need to clear that first so that you understand what's going on.
That's exactly where I wanted to come.
Please go there.
So this is it. The theme, as she said, we have an overarching theme, which is our collective responsibility of preserving the nation, safeguarding the state, and securing our resources. That is the overarching theme. But then we have 6 thematic themes that we will look at. And these 6 thematic themes, we believe, let me quickly say, in a national dialogue, you cannot cover everything that has to do with the nation. We have to start from somewhere. And also, you also have to be careful not to be over ambitious, to have too many things that you want to run after. So we look at what are the 6 priority areas that our country really needs to come together now. And one is the political environment for sustainable peace and stability. So that one, that theme, there is going to be a meeting on Wednesday, the 14th. So we are going to have those stakeholders that are relevant to that theme. So for the political environment, we will bring the IPC, we will bring IEC, the electoral body, we'll bring the Human Rights Commission, we'll bring members of civil society, we'll bring people that are working, organizations working on elections, that work with the political parties, so that we can now dictate or formulate how we want our political environment to be for sustainable peace in the country. You understand? So Wednesday, that meeting would be 6 thematic meetings happening at the same time, simultaneously, where they will have about 4 to 5 hours to sit and just deliberate on that theme. What do we expect of this? What resolutions do we feel are priority resolutions for this year, 2024, for policy formulation, law, drawing of new laws and all that, so that when we finish, that's why we said this is going to be a different one. Because after this, if, for instance, from the political environment, the group comes up with a resolution to ensure that electoral reforms take place, that is a very clear indicator. We want electoral reforms, we want a new electoral law. Then we will be pushing with AG chambers. How far with the electoral law? Lobby our National Assembly members. We want a new electoral law, because we have elections in 2026. So these are the things that we are doing. The other one is religious tolerance. Okay, and again, let me be quick. The theme on political environment is going to be chaired by Tambo. That will facilitate discussions on that. Then you have religious tolerance and for social cohesion, which will be co-chaired by the Christian Council and the Islamic Council, Supreme Islamic Council. Then you have ethnic diversity for national unity, which will be chaired by National Council for Civic Education. And then you have security and safety for sovereignty. It will be chaired by Dr. Barry. Writers Association, but Dr. Barry,
Deputy Executive Secretary of the Senegal Gambia.
Yes, exactly. Well, before, now he's Chancellor. Well, he's there. Yes, he's there, and then Chairman of OIC. Is it the Open University?
Yes.
Then you have the media and safeguarding the democratic space. That would be chaired by the GPU, the Press Union. So the members of the media, you don't have an excuse. You are included. Then you have irregular migration and youth empowerment, which will be chaired by National Youth Council. And it is instructive to see that all these thematic groups are not chaired by any government body. They are chaired by non-state actors. And that is key, so that there is neutrality. And I think the government is also telling us that they are ready to listen to the people. So I know there are a lot of skepticisms, I have had all kinds of things, but for me, I keep saying, let's give in fact, we should stop this thing of government, no government. We are part of the government.
Exactly.
If government fails, it's not anti-Amie that is going to suffer, it's all of us.
Yeah.
So let us come together and know that, look, there is a serious discourse at hand, and let us lend our input. For me, the test should be in 2024, what happens? And whether the journalist, civil society, every month, we must be able to do a roll call. Where are we with this?
Okay.
And by December, we would be able to say, okay, like he is saying, political rhetoric has changed.
Okay.
Maybe now our politicians are not insulting each other. They are now addressing each other as my brother. Yes, maybe they can joke, but the insults or the incitement ceases.
Yes.
Because look at what is happening in our sub-region, my brother.
It's terrible.
So Gambia, since we are the smiling coast, we have a golden opportunity. Next year will be 60 as a nation. So can we use this year to consolidate our unity and be the smiling coast once again without all these divisions?
Good. Okay, I mean, people will always said a national dialogue, its success will rest on the goodwill and sincerity of the powers that be, because obviously we all know that we might be equal, but when it comes to power play, of course, the people holding the office are the people who matters most. So many people would say, okay, all is a very nice idea, but will the government still have to continue to have the goodwill to be able to implement or to address the demands that may come out of this process? For example, and it's very, very idle politically, a political stakeholder may come and say, well, I believe that the government should stop this thing that's happening here, it should stop, this thing should stop in order for us to live in harmony. Will the government be ready, the president particularly, to listen and implement some of the demands that may come from areas that might be directly or indirectly his political opponents?
I will refer you back to last year. I always want to see a trend and understand it. The Secretary General did a presentation last year that tells you the level of commitment to ensure that we understand what the people want, but also the people understand what government needs to do and how it does it, and then you match those ideas. That's why this year you see all the support coming.
I see.
For this to happen again.
Yes.
1. 2, we expect all the MDAs to be there on the 16th. Why? They are going to listen because we're expecting 3 main things, as he said. It could be a legislative proposal, it could be a policy proposal, it could be a national civic education proposal. If they are there, they will now be able to pick, from my area. Like, for example, there is this, the group on security and safety of our sovereignty. Is very key because it's going to bring out a lot of issues. Whether it's our health resources and safety, whether it's our own resources, whatever, a whole land, everything. They're going to discuss, recommendations may come out. So who is going to implement government policies? Who is the lead? It's the permanent secretaries. So they need to be there with their senior officials so that they will be able to pick the issues, 1, because the politicians, the ministers are the politicians. They are going to push for the political agenda of the outcome of these things.
I see.
Because they are listening to the voices of the people. But who in real terms will put it in their strategy, in their work program, in their implementation process, in their monitoring scheme, to understand what is happening. And furthermore, I want to mention this, that the permanent secretary delivery is part of this committee. So they are the ones who monitor whether pronouncements are being delivered, policies are being delivered, whatever, to be able to ensure that they remind the institutions that are responsible to be able to take up the responsibility. So I am seeing this beyond now. And I think the president the way he's expressing it is like even beyond his term as president, National Dialogue Day must continue. So this is not about a party, it's about the people. And it is very important that we understand the magnitude and the importance that is attached to this national dialogue.
Yes, so let's... Well, you want to come before?
I think this country, we have observed quite a lot of things going on. And then in as much as we want to unite and then do the right thing for this country, the whole bottom line of peace and security lies with the head. And then we were dismayed about some of the rhetoric that has happened in this country or were said in this country. For example, calling diaspora and backward on Fenyo. That is the president saying those things. The president, his language should be cordial and unified. Because if he wants to bring in politics first, before the country, a lot of things will happen. People will divide. And then also, you know, we don't have any religious problem in this country. Socially, we are diverse people. We go to each other's ceremony. But now, because of politics, some farmer neighbors are not even talking to each other. The reason that causes that are the political head, particularly the head of state. We were not going to single out and say it because some of the things he said were not something that we expect a head of state to be saying those things. Now, if he means something very serious about this, what we need to do, if he goes out to address a rally, he should stop throwing jabs on people. Because once you did that, you say, hold on, people get angry, and then the others are celebrating, the others are angry, then the whole objective of this...
I think that applies to all the political parties.
Yes, I understand, I'm coming there. But what happened is, the bottom line is the heavy weight is on the president, the head of state, that is the supreme body of all this country.
Yeah, his language can mean
his language
can be
a lot.
Policy,
Because now you can see somebody say, oh yeah, this is backward on Fenyo. We are not backward on Fenyo. We have contributed a lot in this country.
But that is just...
that's what I'm saying. Because if you go to a rally, we expect you to tell the Gambian people your economy and how your livelihood are affected and how I will address it. You understand? So this is where we are expecting. You can play your politics by making certain jokes. We sometimes do enjoy some of all those remarks.
Yes, you can throw jabs at your opponents, yes.
But again, now, how to implement this thing to become fully operational is the underlying problem that are associated with it, that is challenging to everybody in this country. Is it sustainable? That is the question. Now, the way they wanted to do it, I don't know. But I hope we all unite together, Gambian, and then work towards peace and security. Now, this country, there's a massive poverty in this country, whether you know it or not. If you get out of the street, you're in the car, people surrounding you, I want to eat. You can understand what is going on. Now, the government economic policy, is it helping? Because the president stood under he said, I'm going to put up the taxes. You know, that is not helping any Gambian. Because once we heard that, we say,
I think what I need to say, Mr. Gassama, without speaking for government but I would really want to commit myself here to say that the commitment I have seen and understand. Me, I'm an activist. Nobody, I don't even hide that. I don't hide it. And everybody knows that. But the reason I am supportive of the president is I listen to him. I hear the voice, the real person speaking.
Yeah. And not the politician.
And not the politician. You see, when it comes to politics, people do whatever they do. But in real terms, to be honest, if it was something else, my friend, I would not be sitting here.
I understand perfectly.
I want people to understand that when it comes to politics and politicians, they
are fond of creating
tension. I think it's the tension that makes them survive. That's not the issue here. That's why I am always focusing on the nation. Nation this is an opportunity. If we all want to reflect on what has been said in the past, we will never sit together.
I know,
Never. Because each and every one of us have said something that offended the other.
One way or the other.
So we are not in the offending part. We are in the mending part. How do we come together
like that,
as a nation? We need to mend the fences. We need to heal ourselves. Because each and every one of us, you don't like Bakutem Fenyo, there's something I don't like.
About it, that's fun.
You know, about somebody. You know what I mean? But if we follow that, you think we'll be dialoguing? No. That's why he said, let's have a national dialogue so that there is the opportunity on the 14th. Some of these nitty-gritties you are talking about will be discussed. 14th
Maybe
is the day.
You will tell the president.
The day 14th.
People said you stop this problem. And use another terminology.
Anyway, on a more serious note, sometimes also these things are said not from ill.
No, yes, it's just.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's not offending, but it's not the intention.
No, I understand what happened. You know, if the president speaks
and you know he has a very good command of the Mandinka language.
No, I know. You know that.
So he
knows how to joke.
When he went to Washington, he started saying, people started saying, who is this man? Because he started
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's the political part. I think we need to appreciate as Gambians that let us joke, but let us not hit the dignity of the person. That is what is important.
That is.
Do not hit the dignity of the person. If you hit the dignity of the person, you are not allowing. Then it becomes personal. These things should not be personal, because if they say diaspora, I don't want to repeat what you said. But then, tell me, how many diaspora are there who likes him, who support him? Are they also the same?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So sometimes these remarks are general, and then somebody wants to pick it and make it your own. No, I think we should just forget the past and move forward as a nation.
And
then
I
we
think
have the opportunity on the 14th, those representatives who are going to be there, to look at how do we have the right rhetoric in public.
That's where we start.
Yes,
but
14th.
16, we moved on the 16th.
No, so what is going to happen on the 14th will be when the thematic groups meet. They are going to now look at the issues surrounding their teams. And they would now bring their resolutions to the meeting of the 16th. So the 16th is going to start with a panel discussion. We have eminent panelists that will come, speak to the theme. And after now, we will look at the resolutions of the 6 thematic groups. They will present it now to the general public for people to give their views and opinions. You understand? So that and those resolutions is what we are going to place as a nation for all of us as our collective responsibility to work on. So that it's not only putting resolutions that only civil society or government, it's like government should do this. No, civil society, because even if we say policy or legal reforms, just like you had for the access to information law, it was initiated from civil society. But we worked with government. So everybody is going to have a stake that if we even say electoral reforms, let's not just wait for the Ministry of Justice. Can we go and say, look, how can we support? Do you need an extra legal person that can be paid for by civil society development partners to get electoral reforms up? Do we need an extraordinary session of the National Assembly to pass this, so that it is not us versus them? It is our collective responsibility. Gambians saying we want our country to move forward. And for me, and like Auntie Amie said, and let me reassure you, my brother, I think I am known for not just putting myself in anything I don't believe in. I mean, what I don't believe in, I don't put my energy there. But the reason I said I believe in this process, one is the inclusive nature from the preparatory stage. Two is the commitment I've seen sitting with her, sitting with chief of staff, with other government officials, and them allowing us to speak how we speak outside. You know, and it's not like we are going to massage it over. No, we went and we spoke. Yes, we agree with this. No, can we change this language? And they were open to it. For me, that gives me hope. And what the chief of staff said, that it's not just talking. What do we do after? How can we do follow-up activities after the 16th of February? And all of us, journalists, Lamin Cham, 3 months down the line, call for brunch, call Auntie Amie, call somebody from State House, call civil society. In February 16, you people said this. What is happening? We have not seen anything. That is how we keep each other in check. And that is how we move as a nation. So the theme, our collective responsibility, let every Gambian move away from, well, okay, I'm not part of government, so no. What can you do? What can you do?
And also, maybe I should say, let them not confuse the government and the party. If you do, you will confuse everything.
Exactly.
Supporting the state doesn't mean you are supporting a party.
Yeah, that's it.
People should differentiate.
How it should be, yeah.
State is a continuity.
Yeah.
Parties, governments are temporal.
Exactly.
They will come with a program, implement, go. Another government comes in, do, implement, go. People need to be clear about this. Yeah. So if you are in an institution to serve the country, I beg you, you are not serving President Adama Barrow. You are serving the President of the Republic of the Gambia.
That's it.
If we get this clear and we understand it, then it helps us to be very relaxed in the way we operate, and then we'll be able to now consolidate the institutional strengthening by making sure we follow the procedure. You are not doing this to blocking this bottle here because Adama is going to be happy. No, it's not Adama. It's the President of the Republic that you are talking about.
Exactly.
If the success of completing a road project happens, yes, we'll clap for Adama Barrow.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not Adama Barrow. It is the President of the Republic of the Gambia who has led a program and it succeeds.
Yeah.
People need to understand this. And I think it is time now, the Gambia, we understand the differences.
Yeah. That is,
and I think it's key in the way we do our rhetorics, in the way we give information. And my friends, my people, Lamin Cham and others, my journalist people, we understand that you can moderate a program without personalizing and influencing how people should think. You can be what we call the devil's advocate. Ask the questions. Don't give your opinion. You are not there to give your opinion. You are there to ask the questions. Your guests are the experts.
Exactly.
Who should answer the questions? If we do this, even the phone-in programs, you listen to them, you will really know that this presenter completely has an agenda that wants to be pushed. No, you are not there to push that. You are there to ask the question so that Mr. Gassama will answer that question. And now you are allowing the listeners and the viewers to decide, okay, I've listened to Mr. Gassama. This is what he said. I reflect on it as an individual in my house, in somewhere listening and watching, and then say, okay, this is what I understand. I think it's important. And that will help, not only with them, but as you said, the leaders, whether it's political leader, religious leader, women, whatever leader you are, please let us watch our rhetorics. Because the issue of hate speech comes from this aspect. Because if you have a statement, you make it as if you are attacking Amie, and Amie responds, who are you to stop the fight? It will be difficult. But let us focus on what is the issue. Let's address the issue and not the person, and then we'll move.
So we staying with the on Mondays. So who and who are allowed to attend Monday apart from the political? Because that's where the president.
No, the invitations have been personally given out
to political leaders,
and the people who and the representatives who are going to be there.
So Monday's meeting is not open to everybody.
No. Okay. That is we're expecting like 100 people to be part of the whole process, including the political party leaders and their 2 representatives, and then the other stakeholders who will be represented from all levels. And then the organizing committee will be there as the preparatory committee to represent the different angles, the different institutions, still being part of the whole process from there.
But the 14th, that's open to everybody?
No.
Again,
14th is, can I?
Yes, I want
this. Yes. Needs to be clear. 12 is restricted. 14 is restricted. But the restriction, the 14th is restricted to stakeholders in a particular area. For example, if he mentioned the political environment, to discuss that, who are the political stakeholders?
I see.
The issue of, let's say, migration and youth empowerment. Who are the stakeholders? The issue of media and the democratic space. Who are the stakeholders? 20 of those people from each group, 20 people will be meeting to discuss. For the 14th.
That's what the Kairaba Conference Center.
No, at the Sadauda.
Yeah, that's Kairaba Conference Center.
Yes. Oh, well, you know there's another Kairaba.
There's another Kairaba.
Yes,
you are right. Sadauda Conference.
Yes, Sadauda Jawara Conference Center.
Okay.
The reason being that after all those groups meet from morning to, let's say, in the first half of the day, in the afternoon, they're now going to plenary. And that plenary will bring all the 6 groups together. To now hear each other. What did you discuss on this? Maybe I'm in group 1, but my interest is also in group 3.
Okay.
And then you will hear each other, and then we tease out the issues, and they would have now decided who is going to represent them on the 14th to be a panelist. So each of those groups, thematic areas, will have a panelist to represent their voice in terms of what they have come together with out of that meeting of the 14th on the 16th. 16th is more open. We are talking about 500 people.
500 people?
Yes, we are going to give out invitations, but that will not be enough. So, and we are also saying that how do we choose 500 people out of 1 million? So the issue is, one, we will have the professional groups. We enter the society through the professional groups. GPU get the media. Gambia Registered Doctors Association read them. Nurses as a Gambia Bar Association read the lawyer. You know, that way. Transport Union get the trial, you know. So we are taking it from that angle, and not stopping also reflecting on individual influencers who may not be part of any of this, and opinion leaders to be part of the whole process. So this is how we're approaching it. He said 4 activities. What is the 4th one? We're going to have regional dialogue sessions. After February, we're hoping after the Ramadan, we'll have the regional one.
That one
the regional one.
You'll go to the regions.
All the regions.
Okay.
They will have their own. And we're thinking of the strategy, whether to be spontaneous, that all of them have it at the same time or they will be having it. That is yet to be finalized. But the reason is, the discussions may be happening at the Kairaba, which many will be interested in and may not have the opportunity to contribute. We'll have translation at Kairaba, but that's not enough. We want to hear more voices about this thematic issue for this year. So when we reach out at the regional level, they will allow the conversation to happen in their regional languages, and then we bring out the issues, put it together along with the national one, and see where they come together and where the diversity is.
Okay, this is
that's important.
Yes, because it's important that people understand when we say national, it's not only the national leaders, but there are voices out there in the rural areas who have a say in this country, and they have an interest in this country, and we need to hear those things.
So does that mean that it will go through the local government level and the VDC level?
Exactly. Because when you talk about the regional level, you are talking about the office of the governor to be the overall lead there, representing the president, you understand that? And then you will come to the different structures you have. You have the council level, you have the what we call ward level, you have the district level, the village level. All these things are there. And you have CAFOs who are also there. That will, just like we are doing with the professional bodies here, we will look at those important structures that are on the ground to be part of that process.
So the preparatory committee, whatever its name is, we should expect to remain in existence for quite a long time.
I am not sure about that, because we were tasked to organize 2024. At the end, we will have our report, we will give it out, we will disseminate it, and then we say, thank you, this is what you assigned us. The rest is for another session. Inshallah.
Good. Now, just briefly, I want us to go through the local languages, because people have had this thing, and I want us to wrap up just to summarize them in the local languages. Kumaseko, John Charles, Njie. Nyepange degane, watan mo wara am, digante Gambian si, Kumaseko, alternate state house. Nyange wane, baro mo wote, na nyepuyu. Léegi nag xamuñ ndaje bi ñan ñoo ko xalaat naka la moo demee kañ la sax kana fa war a dem lan mooy jubluwaay bi loolu laa bëgg nga tengal ko ci olof ndax ñi seetaan ñu dégg lan moo war a xew.
ok jërëjëf Lamin waaw président bi moo oote te oote président bi am na maanaa torop mooy ne bugg na ñu toog ñun Gambien yi ñu mun a waxtaan ñu déggoo loolu dafa min ne dafa tekki ne président bi déglu na baat yi ak woote buñ doon woote pour ñun ñëpp ñu toog mun a waxtaan dëgg la dëkka ñun ñëpp neen utee suñ xalaat dafa utee suñ diine utee neen suñ xeet utee na political party bu ñoo support utee na wante loolu warut a tax ñu xaajoo lu mën a def mooy in fact ci suñ utee ñu nekk benn so président mi moo oote te lii State House la jógee wante ci bu ñoo prepare pour dialogue bi ñun civil society am neen fa toogu am na yeneen bunta yi nga xam ne nekkul ci nguur gi ñi nga xam ne tam bokk neen fa youth si jigéen yi media bi ñëppan fa so lu ma njëkk a bëgg a wax mooy fii ne lii nekkut initiative nekkut plan ni government rek government ak dafa mel ni society bi ñoo toog Gambia moo fa toog moo represent Gambia was represented pour planning bi so ñun ñëpp ne woon a bokka loxo xam ne lii dafa am maanaa torop so programme bi nii la demee Monday président bi dafa o collègues ami ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci political party njiiti political party ñu ñëw State House njiit bu nekk dafa war a ñëw benn jigéen ak benn ndaw pour wane a representation of party bi ba pare am nañ yeneen stakeholders civil society the media other professional bodies ñeneen ak observers international development partners ñi nga xam ne tam invité neen lundi pour ñu toog State House wane boobu invitation bi dafa restricted soo amut invitation nga xam ne boobu bokkuloo si bokkuloo si physically wante di nga follow xam naa ne media bi na carry out living bi so di ngeen dégga wante lu ma fàtte sax pour wax mooy team bi mooy collective responsibility mooy ne ñun ñëpp am ne bopp waaw mooy loolu mooy wone ne nguur gi mu ngi wax ne pour def dëkk bi nekk ci jaama pour def dëkk bi dem kanam nekkut ne nguur gi rek la nekkut ne benn parti rek la ñun ñëpp ci dëkk bi am neen dara li nga xam ne mun nañoo def pour yokkute dëkk bi so loolu nañ ko war a jël into consideration Wednesday tam am na beneen meeting buy am boobu tam by special invitation la wante boobu mun nga ko ooyee maybe the team of experts ñi nga xam ne ñooy toog set the different teams head yi nga xam ne moom mooy yëf yi nga xam ne moom la ñoo dealal day to day ni ki yaa ngi wax ne yëf yi cost of living am na benn groupe buy deal on securing our resources and safety you know soo waxee ne dëkk bi dafa métti nii loolu yëpp am na implications for national security so ñooñu ne yoo toog waxtaanee loolu ne lan leen mun a def pour secure suñ resources def ñu nekk ci jaama ñooñu ñooy toog xalaat loolu pour seet yan points la ñoo mun a present at the end of the day to the nation so am neen 6 groups yi nga xam ne ñooy meet at the same time di seet topic bu nekk di seet ban maanaa la am pour yóbbu suñ dëkk bi kanam so on the 16th boobu nag ñu ngi seet ne neen invite 500 nit mënuñoo invite dëkk bi yëpp nag so loolu tax tam man na ma dee wax ne fekk invite un la niki lu anti ami wax professional groups suñ invite accountants association ne send 5 representatives ku nekk accountant war naa ne gis bopp am ci loolu you know buñ wax ne waaw man dama bëgg a small personal invitation because foog ñu deal ak leadership foog ñu deal ak structures since bu ñu ñoo jël ku nekk it's by representation so suñu waxee ne civil society 10 people from civil society maybe tango na ne okay these 10 civil society organizations dem leen ngeen represent ñu foofu so on the 16th pour 500 nit ñooñu noonu lay nekk ñi nga xam ne they are influential whether it's religious leaders whether it's traditional leaders mun leen leen a invite ñoom tam ñu continuer waxtaan bi ci seen gox yi yeah
ami sa rek sa fo ñe manika kamot gar mol be la moy le ko banko bele nyanta kacha soto la nyin karo kono kacha sifa saba barabi datla tene lungolem president baro fongle commandiro ke no politique nyaton kol bele be benna wodro ye bele commande pour kama be je ni nyim fata mol sa ho baro le commandiro ke munati na be mol commandila muneketa ita munekacha la je so be ngo nyindu ngato le be committee to men bato patoka nyim be wala kumo fanye donc just kacha dandan ro janimbe bul
abaraka bake wokuma yata bake niko president barole be commandiro la wolon ko banko nyaton ko wole be commandiro la sabato soto fo nga kacale anu nimbe kacala fo nga nyojele ni nga nyoje ngachata sondomol ka nyoje kuma kangol tole ba kuma do bije mo ba fola inyabala aka kudo ke balale ruya faham mimbe kere ifana la miro mi ya soto akoto ifana saitan nino wala tinna kacha kuma yata ay bengo nyin kuma ndi wodale lolla ko nin kayro nin sabato mko waye ken na banko kan be nga jele nyin duniya mbe dem tembo minto mimbe ndala membe ndala wo membe kere mobe yalon bari nin kara ko banko nyaton ko nata kumandiro ke wosifa albe kere ko alin tol nga na nga siban nkana mbatu fonin kuketa nkombe nyo kumandila nga kaja woton te nyojela sondo mol fanate nyomutala bawa batala ko momo be kam farin kule kama bari nyindom mi alon ko femmantara kering alhamdulillah kayro ben kayra be kering ko alinga na isaje so nyoso hakilola ko la mini alon ko lom banko la nafaati bawo mbete kala no kilinti bari ni aje politique patiol nyaton kol kumandita ibaje la ko politique patiol politique party e gambe dingole be koma wo gambe dingo alafta kayro la alafta sabatol la alafta yirwal la patil man ke kelim bari be lafta wala patiti jammin bina fala ko malla fi yirwala malla fi kayrol ita wa fala no bawo mo be lafta wala so wala tinna ko mayata wo nyaton ko nintara ko president mo ye commande ko ali nga singa na banko la ko kacha akumayata pour ye mabe ni mabeta ibe wato dila momola mi yalon ko patila min register ta nyim banko kan pour ise kumano jama mole ila miro mumunati nying nan kuma kan mi yalon ko atom monta pour kakachal wolo mbebe den na nyaadile pour ko na banko molu nke tankande mbebe den na nyaadile na makola bundal nge tankande mbebe den na nyaadile bankola na fulo na la soto fengon nge tankande itemu alfati ye kumandi je iko ite mune miranyin koto ifana sela mirofo ye miniti watol mindila ya fo kono nali wo fo fal pareta ye wokuma kangol ye kafunyoma ye lundo tomboy ko min bebe kere isiata araba nungola moto alinga mul de kafunyoma ba min yalon ko ye londo soto bundal wol fana sinasi ya jibe ntolde nyin ko mi yalla nya tabulo to ntol bebe do ko nan londo be nyine la karola me mune miral soto la nyiye pour ganko la nafa ni wol site parete ko mal ko mol bebende ibina wol fana tombon nale ya jibe ko ntolde na nyin ka chamin na nyin kuma kan le funtita nyin kuma kan fo luwala silolo mbang wala nyanta ile mandila bang pour woy tama bang fo bang sakundala tamandi nyale nyanta falina bang pour ka woy tama bang fo hada ma dingol min banko kan ibe kumol bondile dal kono ila kuma nyal wala nyanta falina bang fo nyen sekeno
okay
ni wo sotota ibe mole tombo na mim fana bina tala jumalungo bengoto
wolon ben sabanjango
wo ben sabanjango ibaje ko ni la kuma kangol nyini natije mbe lonna dol fana sutol min yalon ko ifana la mirol iba fola nyin kuma kangol la koto nyunu be ni sota nyokam jama min nata chance be dila pour modol fana ye reaction ke odi amol la karola
okay
ni wol keta wolle be bajola ni wol bajota ye safe kana jibe silam masakunda munatina yok nyinen karo do keno nyimbe ko la mune be kela jiko bi je ko fengo fem ma sakundala do ko bundati la mobe tar la jele pour ñing kuma kawol min we fola ntela do ko bunda den na do ko mo ñine tije yo tombo do fana wo nyama ate danna wala nin ñimbe botala fo ala yake sunkaro botala ngani yo nim plano mo ñine tiko kumote danna jam be janjan na tundol kan na regional dialogue soto isaje governor ini mol min be tol fana la bankol kan yesi ya kol kacha wolbe bajo nyoma isaje butung ma joni min fo committee o mol masakunda mol do kulal be do yari ngie bakele jama mol la do ko mol le la siata isaje ibe karla nyin nomalale nga nyindi misal fe august april ngambande ngadi masakunda la bundala wala biri ngambande february la ngol do samba wala be commencer ro kan ke mira ko wala so iba jela ko iba ko kari wora sambitale sainde mune be kere nyinga nyine fotanu muna atina keta wala muna atina manke mu jamal la lodula miyatina aketa wala miyatina manke wo marifana c'est accountable because fonga ngam fasi sasile ni mam fansi ase banko pour que do ko ke banko e abe kole alale
okay ye ngakuma ngini ngal ken angale kan wala ni ko ngabe ngakacha alpha membe banko kan mobe kay nyalo rek won kana me do men ken ka kacha fo ninda korta men abe wakila la no bank kawtama
Lamin je
eden president be nyokane lungolo ya sute a nyato la ko nyin kacha ya kumandi bakala so molbe be nyin kala fo ndo abe sonna nyin na ba ning kachal ketam nyanta fo ko nyin nyanta tamala fo abe sonna wala le bang kawol taman hanne ataro tuma do fo man diaye bari bitum fo bawo hamo kama mobe ke clint fabe o ngani yo sot la kaw taman hanna rata fo o man diaye kala tele kumma ta dia bennal be ko
labi president won ngtaga millo ning amal la finu kayro la sabato tenko wala ata nyimbe ngako mandela naman la finu ala man sakunda ya dabula banko la yirwato mi ya lon ko amirol bota mon le budu man la bakela tenata nyimbe ngako mandela anda fango be mabe la jele
bengo to ha
abe mabe la tele lu bengo tele pour kala kuma ya itande anaye lodu lamenta inshallah ni man satala sonta jumalu nga fana be mabela
beton
anda be kuma kan wol folale mi ya lon ko fana la miro mo wolati mi ya lon ko jama be min fo kan e fana se hakiloto
good well
jadi bitala le independence jura roñing ñing national dialogue ya tinale fo mol la ñina la ko lungo fongo bijela tiltani seyo wala independent lungoti wolum fana
ñikira ko ñowote siala kar mobe ñim be ba na mobe be ndaw
inshallah
ñim no ta
inshallah ma shatalla be wokelale ibajela ko on the 18 ni woketa wobe kala match pasolete comme adalta nyame president fana e kuma ko dol soto min yalon ka nyanta wo folaje anu yalon na soldaro ni police wol fana la pare lungol woti ke la nganya lungol mi yalon ko fana ke fayitande aku woto anu fana ministry of basic education e committee min loni independent la karola ile mobe sirinje e be sports fana dada la committee dindingol la karam do dindingol e ka tulungol min ke boro ne ngosifa wol fana be kelale so laftale promosa kala mutawanyama ngana watola bengole ke watola nga janjanga watola ni aje man nyim kacalungo ning independent lungo nyinke lunkile abe kole alale bawo ko be sialale molbe batalale anu laftale molye tenkun ye sabati ye kuma kan wala men ning hakilola isaje se la miro litane ning hakilola ala baraka ba
Sarjo
yes
ye kumol moyla rata le be maneti
na kumol moyla
ndafa ngo bida bend la ma la baro sa ñina ñi bako la
ani yalo andi ame mem for that's fine sai abe ñina la wala le sai okay be ka fola na keken dolo melu be yalo ne keken dolo so be wula be mane be doko keka e ka natiye wala mo banko dinge atodo dinke waltide thank you very much mbarum franga dia mande kamal ko di be albe tentula mbal jayela ntol membe bantambe ñenendiro la ntol be samba banta katu ye fondinke jani hamolem la fitale Gambia ke bankuti me yalong mol nyaabo bola fe ni tata banta no e ko smalin ko tubabolo e ka fo everybody in that country is happy but ngalan ko trend comme ko ka falin dunia fota da tembe dula ko lear ntol dum man la fi ke la bankol ti men yalong better la fitino no ciocolo kon la fita yiru wala nga bote so president wala ñi initiative ko alna nga na kacha nga jibe na bankola tanko na balunya animbe yiru wala nyame mba kala nyaadi la hakil kili magi hakil wode ngo welcome le 100% ha ndol fana la fidan dai taraje so ndala taraje anti ami ako o kole a table no because structure man taraje bari nata men sojes wala mu ko na embassy membe comme momo be dame ni network establish no wor kat wol ka futa no male nimbe event do kala isaje ni kacha amanke ko comme like John Jale la fita nala mo besi si sa fuko ante la fita le kari en penk ni ngata da nga deadlock soro si karta fay kar le be represent so nga ke different region wol ni embassy e penk ning ala yen dema ko president banko nyaadon ko ko wala fita mol be jala political party o samba jana kadu nyi event nyi atle kumata penko political party be wede be UDP le be NRP le be NCP le be PDO be MPP le o man kumaya ko tek momo be gambe represent le ba represent la komi be gambe la ko falin no la nyaadi ntol diaspora ko la fitan day taraje anda manke komi political party head o civil society ntol fanal la fital ngaaje nin sir television o hani manna physically ngaaje ko ñun lebe diaspora to yala andol be kalimo men dunna wol da ya fu president o ani banko la nyaatin ko dolu wol fanam be wol futandi la ñunu male exactly saaje simtol fanana voice moy ni waketa ntol fanam be na content ko yitandi la ko banko ntol letam exactly yaaje because ñunu membe nyaato bi you know bola jele de akamunta dun total bota je nyame so many binna it will ka placement said wol bo jibe la na el fal membo de je ko ma yen karande munele ye munay tan dinna jolem bang fitino lem bang wali yolem bang hanide so wala so now bare ñunu de isitale banko ñaton ko ay mol ko man la ko nga na kacha alon ko kulda tambida dol man kontana la so malla vitala aussi lola say banko nga jibe mbenna baluo tala nga sono yandi nyame nin Gambia dahata Gambia molo mbi jani dahata ndol dahata kato akati ndol buka fem plan no ndol be je nyame mbe fuware haren man ko resoro bari nga make sure le ko na molo konko kane muta nibite lala wala mun na fen ko bari mbe duwala comme yemem foten ni la fita men engage la mo bijang o diaspora al nga try do nga kafu ni nga opportunity so do minanye meeting dulala nga si nga la moy nga jibe ni la fita comme kalimo men nga même fo sa fotante banko nyaatam koma and then nga jibe diaspora farana contribution no abita nyame bar ni do ja fay ko diaspora ko yello television ya ko ngam faale ala go boy.
Thank you very much, Sarjo Gassama, from the diaspora. Amie Bojang Sissoho, the director of Press and Public Relations at State House, and John Charles Njie from the Civic Society. Both of them, of course, members of the multi-sectoral committee or multi-stakeholder committee, which is organizing the national dialogue, which starts on Monday, running up to the 16th of February. Good luck to all of you in the process, and to all the people who are taking part.
Thank you.
That will be all about it on the brunch this week. We will update you on those discussions in our subsequent.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.